there and welcome. Today we are diving into a really powerful idea from A Course in Miracles. It's Lesson 304. At its core, it's about a way to see past all the noise of our daily lives, to find this sense of peace and clarity that, is always there, just waiting for us to notice.
You know that feeling, right? The deadlines, the notifications, the constant worries, it's just this constant barrage. It can honestly feel like you're trying to walk through a thick fog, and it's almost impossible to see clearly. Well, this lesson we're looking at today offers a way to cut right through that fog, and it all starts with understanding what creates it in the first place. So, first things first, we've got to understand the problem that this lesson is really trying to solve. The Course has a name for this: our world's illusions. Think of it like a veil of perception that kind of shapes our everyday reality. So, the main idea here, according to the Course, is that our normal, everyday view of life, the stress, the conflicts, the constant chasing after things, it acts like a veil. The suggestion is that this isn't the real reality. It's more like a really powerful distraction that's blocking us from seeing a deeper truth, both in ourselves and in everyone around us. And this really brings us to a fundamental choice. On one side, you have the world's typical way of seeing things, which the Course says is basically rooted in fear, judgment, and just plain old distraction. But then, on the other side, there's this alternative it calls Christ's vision, which is a way of seeing that's based entirely on love, forgiveness, and just clarity. So the lesson is pretty much asking us, which lens do you want to look through? So, okay, if the world's perception is this veil, what's the alternative? How do we actually lift that veil to see this light that the lesson claims has always been there? Let's take a look. All right, this is the absolute key concept, and it's really important to get what it means in this context. The sight of Christ, as it's used here, isn't really a religious thing. It's described more as a state of perception. It's the ability to look at any person or any situation and see past all the surface-level stuff, the flaws and mistakes, to a fundamental core of worth and light. And that right there is the heart of the lesson's title. It's not just a title. It's meant to be a powerful intention you can actually use. It's like a direct request to your own mind to just stop letting all the world's drama obscure this clearer, more loving way of seeing. Okay, but why? Why is making this shift so important? I mean, why would we trade our focus on the tangible, physical world for something more spiritual? Let's dig into the significance of that. The thinking behind this shift is really central to the whole philosophy of the Course. What it teaches is that the physical world, our jobs, our stuff, even our daily fights, is all temporary. It comes and goes. The goal, then, is to shift our focus and our energy toward what it considers the only lasting reality, our inner spiritual nature. And the payoff for making this shift is, well, it's pretty profound. When you start to see with this new vision, you begin to unlock a much deeper capacity for real, unconditional love. Forgiveness just becomes more natural because you're looking past the little things that annoy you. And ultimately, the promise is a much stronger connection to what you might call a higher consciousness, or maybe just your truest self. This all sounds great in theory, right? But how do we actually do it in our messy, everyday lives? So let's get into the practical, day-to-day tools this lesson offers to really put this idea into practice. So the lesson suggests 3 simple but really powerful daily practices. First, a short meditation to just quiet the noise and visualize that inner light. Second, a simple affirmation you can use as a kind of mental reset button all day long. And third, journaling, which gives you a space to consciously look back at challenging moments and choose to see them from a new perspective. You put them together, and they work to build a whole new mental habit. And beyond that daily routine, here are 2 tools for those in-the-moment situations. The first is a really quick mindfulness check-in. Just pause and ask yourself, is this thought coming from love or is it coming from fear? The second is a proactive visualization. So, say you have a tough meeting coming up. Take 30 seconds beforehand to just imagine filling that room with understanding. The idea is to change the energy before you even walk in the door. Okay, so as we wrap this up, let's bring it all back to what is, I think, the most empowering part of this entire lesson. And here it is, the most empowering piece of it all. This isn't about being perfect. It's about recognizing that in any given moment, whether you're stuck in traffic, in the middle of an argument, or just feeling down, you have a conscious choice. You can stay in that default mode of fear and judgment, or you can choose, right then and there, to try and see with love and clarity. That power is always yours.
So the real takeaway is a question, one to carry with you. In your own life, starting today, where can you make that active choice? When you look at a coworker or a family member, or even yourself in the mirror, how can you choose to see past the fleeting illusion and recognize the light that's within? It's a simple question, but it's one that has the power to change absolutely everything.